Good heavens, we are here to talk about Nightcap, Season 1, Episode whatever it is. It doesn't even matter because we're talking about Unwanted Guest with Deborah Messing, Tim Gunn, and Mark Cuban. Stay tuned after that.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, that music is so beautiful. Welcome, AfterBuzzers. We are talking about, like I said in that opening, Nightcap, the Unwanted Guest. I am your host, Alexis Torres. You can find me where all shenanigans will ensue, just like this show, at atorres890. That's ATORRES 890. And just like I say every week, can't do the show alone, just like they cannot do a Jimmy show by themselves. I have my awesome crew that's always shining and always beautiful.
Oh.
Introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm Hayley O'Connor. You can find me on Twitter at Hayley O'Connor. That is Hayley with 2 Y's. If you don't use 2 Y's, you're not 2 Y's.
Yes, I look forward to that every week.
Do it now.
And thank you to the beautiful Alexis. I
thanks,
appreciate that. And guys, I am ready to pop tonight. AKA, literally, AKA Golden Boy on Twitter, ChrisValentine.LA website.
And don't forget, guys, you can find this podcast and a bunch of other ones. We do 100 shows a week at iTunes, youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Just look it up for all that awesome stuff. But I want to talk about the awesome stuff that happened in this episode because I was dying the entire time.
Easily my favorite episode so
too.
far.
Yeah.
This was
Same
so
here.
good. I was laughing so much. It was awesome.
Oh my goodness. So we had I guess we had like kind of 4 guests a little bit.
Are you
kind
counting
of
a sloth as a guest?
I am counting the slot because it got airtime. Just
That's
saying.
true.
They got their
That's
own
true.
dressing room too.
It did.
More
I mean,
time
well,
on network TV
kind of.
than I've had, so
Right?
the sloth is a
That
real
is
guest.
exactly
You're
how I
right.
feel. So
Everybody
we had,
loves animals.
I know.
Come on,
And,
they're the favorites.
and every late night host always does an animal section. So,
That's right.
but it's true.
Is that true?
Started with Johnny
Jimmy,
Carson,
yeah,
right?
exactly. Jimmy Kimmel does one. He has a guy that comes in and brings him like exotic animals. Fallon does it too. I don't know if.
But they have their
James-
lock on their own animal people, right? It's not the same guy going from
No,
show to
well,
show.
actually, there's a few of them that have done several shows. Like I know there was one guy that was on Conan for a while, and then all of a sudden I started seeing him on Fallon. And I was like, oh,
okay.
Huh, interesting,
He's
but
like
it
one of the
switches up
rare
right
ones
here.
because it's
Yeah.
like Martha Stewart will get away with that. She has those
Oh, yeah.
open-ended contracts where if you are on Good Morning America, you can only be on that show for a year. Because I know, yes, if they
Really?
book you, you have to sign a contract that you will not do CBS Morning, you will not do NBC Today. But Martha Stewart is the exception.
Well, it's Martha Stewart. It
It's
kinda
Martha
makes
Stewart. It's
sense.
like, you want me, babe? I'm going to do all the morning shows. I'm going to make chicken and salad on all of them, okay? But on...
my word.
I used to remember the name that used to do the guy, Johnny Carson, because he'd always come on with these exotic animals.
it might be the
What
same
was
guy
his
that's
name?
doing James.
Josh?
Crap.
That's what I'm
what's
thinking.
the
I think
new-
he's still working.
Yeah, there's an older gentleman who I think is Australian who's doing not James
Animal
Corden.
Wrangler.
Is that correct?
You're
I don't know who I'm thinking of.
Graham Norton? No.
No, not Graham Norton. Oh my god, I love Graham Norton.
not Chef.
No. It's the guy that was in Into the Woods who now has a late night show, and I can't freaking remember what his name is. But if you guys know it, I'm gonna bring up the live chat in a second
yeah. I
if
wanna
my
do that
internet
too.
works, because sometimes it happens. But it doesn't matter. We had Deborah Messing, like I said earlier. We had Mark Cuban, which Hayley and I were like, hey boy, hey.
I have a giant crush on Mark Cuban for years now.
It's
I can't
the hair.
explain
Ooh.
it. It's everything.
Married
It's
man.
The
like
hair, it's the
he's
way he talks.
charming and like cocky and confident, and it's like
He was
all,
hysterical
it's so
in
right.
this
He was
episode.
so funny.
His body is
yes.
so right.
Yes, everything is correct.
And
Mark
then-
Cuban,
It's in the right
A+.
places.
No, correct. And also, I didn't realize how tall he was either.
Yeah,
I was like,
great.
hello.
But
And then
he's
also
got like
my
curves.
No,
you know?
I know. He's
like,
not
is
like
he
a-
related to the Kardashians or something?
He can dance. You know, he's a
Really?
dancer. He's not a dancer, but he's been on like Dancing with the
What
Stars.
is his
has.
background
So
though?
he's like,
because
I
I've
have
always
no
tried to figure it
idea.
out. Because he kind of.
I know the
Oh,
answer.
go for it,
Okay,
girl.
tell me.
Go for it.
In the .com boom, he created a service that they later sold to Yahoo when Yahoo was still a big business that was streaming all like sports to other places, like sports radio shows and sports commentary that like, you know, in the early 90s you couldn't listen to your favorite team games if you were in a different state or whatever.
Yeah.
So he did that and made his first million
Right.
and then has exploded from there, and now obviously it's a big investor with
We wanted to know-
I am tapped into
I
the Mark
love
Cuban knowledge.
that you are so
Didn't even
fanning
have
out
to
right now.
look it up because I knew that.
I'm so proud of you. Like, I am impressed. I don't even know. Well, no, that's not true because I'm a history nerd, so that's where that will come in. So when I do like anything that has to do with like time travel, I'm all in it. So if you've
Good.
yeah, it's terrible. But we had Mark Cuban, and then we had my favorite, who's just fabulous in every way, shape, and form, Tim Gunn, who was a surprise.
Yeah,
He was not really acting his character tonight, right?
No, that was him.
Oh, are you serious? Because he comes off way harsher on the shows now, and he seems more like a diva also in private things going on.
No, I heard that he's a nice person when you meet him, but I have no idea.
I mean, but who goes in there and is like, I'm okay with anything that you want to do. I'm okay if I get bummed. I'll just wait here all night.
because he just showed up with no warning.
I
so
know.
He had to eat
But
a little
if
bit
it
of...
was really his persona that I'm seeing more and more, if it's more like diva, like, you better get me on the show tonight. You know,
maybe he decided to go the opposite of how he is. Maybe he just wanted to be real friendly. I have no idea.
He stayed friendly the whole night.
I was okay with it. I
Then
wanted
took
more
a
of
little
that.
nap. Yeah.
He's like, he's okay with
Curled up,
anything.
it's so cute. Well, let's actually start off with Tim Gunn since he didn't have a major role. He did a Popeye.
He was just.
Have you heard that before? Popeye, is that a new term?
I've never heard it before.
Like pop-up tent or pop-up, like RuPaul
Like
does a pop-up.
I've seen
Okay.
I've seen that, and I've heard when restaurants or art shows or whoever do a pop-up or a pop-by,
Right.
where not a pop-by, but a pop-up where they have like something that's only there for like 24 hours or for the weekend or
Right.
something, and then they're gone.
If
Like,
we
I've seen
didn't
that.
live in LA where it's like unreasonably far to try to pop by on your friends because we all live like extraordinarily
Yeah.
far from each other, I would pop by on my friends all the time. Like, but it can't be done.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was one point in time in my life where like everybody lived on the same like streets, so we were
Yeah.
able. It was like 5-10 minutes to get.
dream walk.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird because we would just get in our cars all together and go, let's just go to this person's house, and we're here.
Done.
Yeah, it was very strange, but I quite enjoyed it. But pretty much, Tim Gunn shows up just out of nowhere, and it's just like, oh yeah, I popped into. Not popped. Dang it! I bumped into Jimmy at Nobu, and he told me that I can come by the studio at any time. Call it a pop by, and I love how Stacey's kind of freaking out. She's like, oh, why is Jimmy doing my job? I hate it. And pretty much he just hangs out because they didn't have room for him. They already had 3 guests. That is including the sloths and the bunnies that were going to be on tonight. And so they were like, let's just get rid of him because Tim Gunn is one-ups cute animals pretty much. And they gave him the dressing room, but then Todd comes by and is like, Jimmy wanted to pet that sloth. He's been waiting a decade. And I'm like, a decade for an animal?
I sort of thought like, even so, they would be like, whatever, we'll do sloths tomorrow or something.
Yeah,
you know?
you would have
I
thought
feel
they
like
moved
it's
the
not that big of a
slots.
deal.
Because they've set up that they have such trouble booking good guests, you know, they keep having this.
We
They're
were
like,
just talking about this too. We were watching the live performance of Hairspray.
Yeah, we were.
Martin Short, who I adore, was on, and this just came to me as we're talking. But I said to you, when Johnny Carson used to have Martin Short on, he would actually love him so much that he would keep him for another segment and then a third segment. And what he would do, and this was amazing, he would bump A-list stars off the Tonight Show, and this happened
Just for Martin
all
Short?
the time.
I'd bump off my entire life to talk to Martin Short for like 3 hours. That sounds great. I'd be like,
Wow.
sorry, Mom, like the wedding's gonna have to
Exactly.
wait. I'm gonna talk
He
to
didn't
Martin Short
care.
for another hour.
And then there's the infamous Mariah Carey. Do you guys remember this?
No.
Okay, this is where she was going through her bad phase.
Okay.
Okay, I used to watch TRL. Maybe
Oh, man.
maybe you guys are too young
No,
for
no,
that.
no.
Okay.
I grew up with that.
This
That is
was
a thing.
an
Yeah.
amazing episode. Carson Daly is doing the show. Mariah Carey comes in off the street, practically naked, and I'm sure you remember this. She kind of was crazy, and she
not remember
showed
this.
up, and so she is a mega star at this point. Okay,
Yeah.
she comes. They're like, okay, you can come in. Mariah, come on in. We'll do the show. She's acting really. Look it up, guys. If you don't know this,
up
you
later.
guys know this, right? So, anyways, she's acting completely crazy, and this is where she had her meltdown, and she was.
Oh, I
Do you
heard
remember
about
that?
this, but I've never actually seen the footage.
Okay, check it out. It's on.
Snaps.
It's
I heard
on Google.
It's really good.
But she was a pop-up, and they took her. They, of course, took her, and it was cray. She was like, I'm going to sing, and she was acting crazy. So that's another thing you check out.
Well, they're
love it.
tapping into that vibe, kind of, I guess.
Yeah.
Of just like, well, whatever. It's New
It's
York.
Tim Gunn.
people show
Let's
up.
let's do it.
I like the idea that Jimmy's just inviting whoever he bumps into. Presumably, he'd be bumping into famous people all the time, right? So he is just
Yeah.
screwing their jobs.
People do that,
Especially
though.
poor Stacy
Yeah.
too, because she works so hard to get these people, and then all of a sudden people just show up and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, Jimmy told me to come by." You son of a like. It's just, I felt really bad for her, but I love that Penny because she is officially my favorite character in the entire show. She's just like, when Todd comes running up to her like, this was not Jimmy approved, like, we need to fix this. She just turns around, looks straight at, I mean, to us it's the camera, but she's trying to yell for Stacy, and at the top of her lungs, because she was shaking, she's like, Stacy! And like, Stacy's like, balls, and like gets up. And I just love how she's just like, what? And she's like, we have an emergency. Okay, well, come here and tell me.
Slowly walks.
And just, they actually shot the fact that she like walked to her, and I love how
quirky.
Stacey was just like, oh my god, just get here. It was just really funny. But
it's like nobody respects Stacey on the show. She's like the underdog. From the first 2 seconds, nobody's listening to her. No one's doing what she says. I mean, it's ridiculous. The security.
Oh yeah, like when they were in their usual, where they have the team meeting room where they're trying to make sure everybody understands how the show is going to be that night, and she asked the security guard, like, don't let him.
The security guard, most useless man on the
Oh
staff.
my god, I hate him so much.
I thought Todd was high level useless,
it's
but
security
he does
guard
some stuff. So the security guard,
and he like talks to Jimmy, like he understands how the show works. The security guard's just like, I can't do
I'm
anything.
sitting here. Yep.
Yeah, and like as soon as he told Todd like, oh, please promise me that you won't film. No, I'm not gonna do that. What am I gonna do now? I'm like, you were the most useless piece of crap I've ever.
I guess she can't fire people, else she probably.
No,
would've
I
done
don't think
it,
she
right?
has the. Yeah, I don't think she
Jimmy's
has.
in charge of everything?
I don't know. Yeah, apparently Jimmy, whatever Jimmy says, it goes.
He probably doesn't know what's going on half the time.
Oh god. Well, they pretty much had to put the animals and Tim Gunn in one dressing room, and he was okay with it, like you said. And he seemed very intrigued. They didn't feed him. They fed the animals, but they didn't feed Tim Gunn.
I like the chef a lot.
Yeah.
This is very funny.
Came in, he's like, this is not for you. This is for the sloth. Don't touch it. And I love how even the sloth actually like started to grab for it. Like I love the he was just like,
they got.
Yeah.
Active sloth, very active sloth.
I like that. I thought that was awesome. And then he left, and then they came back because they're like, oh my god, we forgot Tim Gunn. He's still in the dressing room, and he was just fast asleep,
Just snoozing.
because he's been up since 5. You know, he's busy. You know,
I would have left the room too. I'm like, don't start something.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be started. Just let it go.
Yeah,
Let him
just-
wake up at 2
He'll wake up
a.m.
on his own, and he'll be like,
Exactly.
oh man, I'm not supposed to be here. I guess I fell asleep and they didn't want to wake me. That's fine. And then we'll get into Mark Cuban because
Yes, we will, please. Yes, that would be great.
So he came in, and he was obviously our next guest, and we had Randy and Marcus come in because they had this brilliant idea. I need a minute. Where I wasn't ready for this. Did you?
No.
Did you guys expect?
I did not
What
see
it
that
would be?
coming.
No, of course they're gonna pitch him because Mark Cuban's on
It's
Shark
Shark
Tank,
Tank.
so they're gonna try to pitch it. Like every guest that was on, they tried to like they wanted Deborah Messing to be Grace, the other characters, and they want to pitch to Mark Cuban, and so they do a little like
I love the
they do a little
you're
like
just gleaming every time you say
I
his
love him.
name.
Mark, if you're watching, I'm sure you're watching. No, but I liked their little like Pulp Fiction-y reveal before revealing what the product was.
Yeah, where you just opened the. I was waiting for like light to come out
Sure,
or
that
something, and
would've
it was very lackluster.
It was
there.
like
I
cheap
was just
props.
Like, yeah, I was just like, okay.
They're in trouble.
And then they do reveal it to Mark, and it's bangs.
Guys, which the way that they said this is MA' bang. So if you don't know how to pronounce that, it's called my bang.
Also,
How did we feel?
I feel like this is a product that exists already. Like you can get
I would not doubt that.
You can get clip-in bangs. Not marketed to males, I guess, is the difference. But like,
I mean, they have
like,
spray-on hair stuff now too. So if you don't know,
theirs is like badly designed with like an obvious string around your head. Great work, guys.
So pretty much, if you don't know what we're talking about because you missed the episode or anything like that, my bang is, I have to say it exactly like that because it's just, I can see it. It's on the whiteboard, and it's pretty much you take an elastic piece of string that you can get at Michael's, maybe the dollar store, whatever. Take hair. I couldn't tell if it was human hair. I'm gonna hope that it's not, because that looked really terrible.
They did say of men, which I thought meant they got donations.
It was men, for men,
even
by
love
men. I almost thought ma meant men at the beginning.
That's what I thought it it did too, but I was very.
So is it ma bangs or men's bangs?
I don't know. That's the thing. Maybe
could
that's
go
what they
both
want.
ways.
They want you to think about it. But they pretty much, it looked like they hot glued
Yeah.
to this
Hair to an elastic.
and then you just slip it on like a headband, and it just fits. So when Marcus put it on, it actually looked
It
really
looks
nice.
good.
When
He had a
I
hood to,
agree.
to mask the
the
horrible
string.
elastic.
It looked like he put the elastic on, and then he put the hat on top. It looked because you couldn't
yeah.
really see the string, but because Randy has curly red hair. Oh my god! It just looked like there was some weird spaghetti hanging off the front of his face.
It was just like
it wasn't
extensions
even-
for his eyebrows or something. Yeah.
It was like if you wanted your unibrow to
He's
be
not even
permed,
trying.
that's
You
what it
They
looked
gotta
like.
give the two of them more like stuff together because their like banter back and forth
Was
was really funny.
amazing.
And I was like, oh, I didn't even consider these
Well,
characters before
As
this
much
episode.
as I love Nightcap, we didn't really get an establishment between who's really close with
they
who.
They were funny together. That was really good. And
There was a little wink at the beginning, though, with
Yes.
the quasi-gay guy who's supposed to be married.
So
with
confused
I
about
mean, the
that.
first few seconds were like, what? What just happened? So I rewound
Yeah, because they were
it.
looking at each other.
And what was that about?
It was just
I
it
missed
was,
this.
as soon as
It was
as soon
so
as
fast.
it was because they mentioned Mark Cuban, and immediately they're like,
Oh,
"Oh,
we have a
Shark
business."
Tank.
Is that what it
we
was?
we have an idea."
Okay.
That's what that wink was for.
Okay.
That was because and
I
that's
read
what it
too
was
much
setting.
into it.
Oh no, I was very confused. I was like, "Wait, are they sleeping together?" Was that? No, it was just that.
Did they have the hots for Mark Cuban?
I mean,
Who doesn't?
Exhibit A.
yeah, so they pitched to him their horrible idea, and Mark Cuban, let me just say, charmingly, starts to like tear it down, and then he's like into it.
Because he's
so
one of those
funny.
guys
Yeah.
that had, or he used to have bangs and then cut them off, and it was like a whole
His
story.
like lines. I wonder if they wrote it or they got like to have him ad lib because I don't know if
They
I
probably
mentioned
sat
this,
down with
but
him
I'm
and
a big
talked
fan
to
of
him.
Mark Cuban.
But when he came,
No.
He's very naturally funny, but he was like, "Oh, I had great memories of playing with my bangs,
He's just a good actor.
chewing on my bangs." It was just so funny.
You
and,
guys
like,
should have seen her.
absurd.
She was dying. It was
I loved it.
beautiful.
I loved it.
When
No, I hope
he
that he and the
finished-
writer sat down and like really like banged it.
Banged it out.
This character, I apologize for that because I thought that his lines weren't. It didn't feel like rehearsed with sometimes with like actors who are trying to overact because that's their character. I felt like it was very natural.
Yeah.
Well, he's on TV every week.
Good on you,
and
Mark.
I
it was
will
great.
say though, when he came out of the talk show at the end of the episode, it looked natural to me and it looked good.
Pretty good, except
I was
for
like,
the
keep
string
him.
inside.
Yeah, if there
And
was,
then,
Out
and
of
then
everybody, it
another
looked the most natural.
another great acting moment for him because you felt like,
He was
a
upset.
dramatic turn. Oh my God, what can't he do?
guys, Mark Cuban, if you're ever actually watching the show, you should get her to just be your PR. She would sell people the mood for you. But I love how they even like approached him like shark, like just like the show. It was beautiful, and I loved that. I was upset that he didn't want to keep with it because he did say he was going to give, what was it, $25,000?
$25,000.
I love how they thought it was going to be millions. I was
Yeah.
so excited, and then I saw it, and I was like, no, sweetie. Oh, sweet baby child, no.
But they were willing to take the $25K.
They
Sure.
were. Hey,
Yeah.
that's
I like how they
great.
kept on with the presentation no matter what Mark said. They're like,
Yeah.
they're going to keep going no matter
Supreme
what.
confidence.
But I love how they even use like the old like high school, junior high science
board,
project.
yep.
That's what it looked like. Yeah.
I was
trifold
like,
board.
I think I have that still
Yep,
somewhere
yep,
with the same
horrible
exact.
crap glued on it.
Yep. I was like, I know exactly where you bought that and what aisle. That's how terrible that is.
Yep.
And then at the very end of the episode, before we get back to Deborah Messing, we had our sad chef trying to put on one of the bangs, and it just didn't work. And Marcus made that very clear.
Here's the thing, like I don't understand because of our main cast of the
Yeah.
staff, the chef's my favorite.
He's hysterical.
He's so funny and attractive. I find him kind of attractive, and I don't think there's anything wrong with losing your hair. And he should
He
just
looks
own
fine.
it. Yeah, he looks great.
he has the right face shape and everything to rock half hair
Don't
or
put
no
him
hair.
on. Leave him off.
No, it was good, buddy. You should have stayed. I liked it. I love how they were just like, it's okay.
Dramatic music.
It's,
yeah,
yeah,
it felt
as he like
a
slowly
TV
took
show
off
or
the my
something,
bangs,
yeah.
I was just like, what am I watching Degrassi? Is that what's happening?
Exactly, Degrassi, totally.
Oh, crap. But someone who had to deal with drama but was not dramatic was Deborah Messing.
Oh my God, she's so funny.
Before we continue with this, I'm so sorry, Deborah Messing, you had to deal with Todd, because that, like, no, that character
Would
is
anybody
terrible.
put up with it that long? I mean, take after take.
Deborah
She had
Messing's
to know,
really
right?
nice, so I feel like she actually would.
She even had that line of, I'm one of the nice ones, which I thought was funny and like set it all up to be like, oh, if I now say no to this guy, this random guy, I'm gonna be like
known
that
as the mean
bitch.
one.
Yeah.
Which is funny because she cursed quite a bit on the show. I mean, it was bleeped
We got to
out.
see two sides.
It was good. Well, if you ever actually follow her on Snapchat, she's a lively character. She's like, I think like out of everybody that I follow on Snapchat, that's including celebrities and my friends, she is the only person who has like, you can't even see the bar because there's so many snaps in it. And I'm like, girl, you're amazing.
Well, she's been twittering all day today too.
Oh yeah, she's
And
like the social media queen.
Extremely lively and a lot of political stuff. You know, she feels very strongly.
Yeah.
No, even today, even after the elections and everything. So
yeah, she
she's
does
just
not
going
stop.
on and on and on. No, she does not
Non-stop.
stop.
I love it.
Yeah, so she's definitely a passionate person.
I love how I wrote in my notes, Deborah Messing, I'm sorry. But Deborah Messing shows up and pretty much Todd is over the moon excited because he's a huge Will and Grace fan, even though he's only seen 2 seasons.
He's only seen 2
and
seasons.
thought
He
that
thinks
Will and Grace
are
are
husband
married.
and wife.
So if you don't know about Will and Grace, you better go look it up because we don't have time to go into what the show actually is. So
like
Deborah
7
Messing
seasons,
plays Grace.
right?
8.
8. Okay,
Yeah.
I was like,
Critically acclaimed.
and I feel like it was
8
8
seasons.
years,
they
not
just
just 8 seasons, right?
They
Yeah.
just did a like small reunion like thing
did.
about the
Ooh,
election,
they
so I
did.
thought it was like it hasn't even been that long since she's been
Entertainment
Grace.
Tonight, and I'm watching this right after the episode. Entertainment Tonight said there is going to be a reboot. And you remember
Like
Karen?
there is?
Karen
Yeah,
is the
actual
one
one.
spilling the beans, and it just came out hours
Nice.
before we did this show. And I
Yeah.
thought, that's so timely because they're all kind of in the news. They did a little skit that was political.
And it
they
was
had
well
6
received,
million views.
It's huge.
They look great. They all look like they're willing to go back to work. And Karen said this is the perfect time, she said, for us. So I think it's all gelling and coming together. And usually when they say reboot, they mean a new cast of characters. I think it's going to be all the originals coming
Revival.
back.
I think that
Revival,
I think
exactly.
it's the originals, but I think it's their kids. Like
So
a
maybe-
piece of it.
really?
Like,
Like-
I don't know.
'cause-
I just know that that's
Because
what
Karen's like so excited. I'm going to go get back to work and
No,
everything.
they're still gonna be in the show. It's
They're
kind
gonna
of
play
like
the mother,
it's
or-
kind of like Girl Meets World, where the fact that Corey and Topanga, the people who play that character, they're in the show. They're just
They're
their
the
kids are
parents,
also in it as well.
Okay,
so
that
I
would
mean,
be great.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
That'd be
I'm
awesome.
I just know that they mentioned it months ago that they were talking about bringing it back, and then all of a sudden all this stuff started coming out. So when I heard reboot. Reboot. I was assuming that it was because maybe they had kids or something, and then that's what we're gonna see with them in it, or it is a revival and we're just gonna have them in it and it's gonna be great. So either way, I just want to see Deborah Messing on TV again.
She's
Yeah,
so
she was
wonderful.
so good in this. This was great.
And
Yeah.
of course, Match Game this past season, she was on 2 or 3 episodes. She
Yeah.
was hilarious.
Yeah,
I mean, I adore her, and I had a whole new love for her after I watched her with Alec Baldwin and the jokes she was making, and she looked fabulous. So I am glad if they reboot it.
Yeah, if anybody is a huge fan of her, you should definitely watch Mysteries of Laura because that's a great show. And that one, I think that went 3 seasons, and it was, I don't know, I'm upset that it got canceled because I really liked that show. And we also did an after show. You should look it up. AfterBuzz TV, Mysteries of Laura. But pretty much she comes in, and Todd, like I said, is over the moon excited, and he again is a big Will and Grace fan, and he wants to take a video. He wants a video. It needs to be personal, and it has to be about him. Stacey said no. And it didn't matter because he still did it anyway. But sadly enough, he didn't ask for it to be about him because she wasn't really willing to do it. He pretty much lied and said that his niece is sick. And I was like, okay,
Katinka, naturally,
okay, yeah.
Katinka, I love that.
Katinka.
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
Out of wedlock, too. Like, yes.
moralistic Todd. But you know what? I've been annoyed by Todd in the past episodes, but this was like, he was still annoying, but in a way I kind of liked this week for
He
some
was pretty
reason.
funny.
And they didn't even push, like, I was glad they didn't, like, overdo the like sick niece fake sick kid thing too much, and then the joke just became, oh cut, can we do another take? And it was really funny, and like she gets more and more annoyed. And
I was getting
thought it
upset
was
for
really
her.
well
I'm like,
done.
oh my gosh, she's gonna figure this out, right? No, she kept doing it, and every time she did it, she's like a pro because you do that on television anyways. You have to retake it over and over, and it was every single time it was great. But I'm like, okay, she can't do it again. And literally, when she said, "I'm exhausted," after it finally
Like,
ended,
us too.
I was exhausted. I'm like, oh, please, thank goodness it's over. I felt for her, so it was great. And then of course, they had to do it again.
Yeah, they
and
bring her to a new location. I thought that was so funny.
To find new lighting for a new crew. We had like 2 people now.
They had
the
the
security
security
guards
guard
doing
running
the
sound,
sound.
but I just
So
like her.
upset.
She chews him out when he like is so annoying, and I was
I
like,
love
yeah,
it though.
this is really good.
But that's
We
how
all wanna
stars
see
act.
that. Yeah.
I mean,
I thought that was great.
They only take so much, but yeah.
Somehow she was like, "Who the bleep is this?"
Yeah, that was awesome.
Just like, but it wasn't even like it didn't take time. It was just like immediately she like turned around, did a double take, and was like, "What are you?"
You don't get an opinion.
I'm Grace. I'm Grace.
Oh my god, that entire
At
last
least she
scene was
holds on
great.
to that.
So funny.
So pretty much what he ends up doing is he tells Deborah Messing, yes, it's for her, and then she starts and he's like, no, just take out her name. We don't need to put that in there. Okay. I'm so sorry. You're sick. No, cut. We don't need that either. It's just depressing. Just, and then the fact that he chose her nickname as T-Man, I was like, that should have been a giant red flag, but I don't think she actually knows what Todd's
his nickname? Okay.
Yeah, T-Man.
Okay.
Mhm.
That came in an earlier episode.
No.
I
He just brought it
assumed.
up. No, he
Okay.
just brought it
Yeah.
up. So he's like, okay, that's his nickname. That's what we know now, I guess.
And how did she figure out? Oh, it's an AIDS baby or something.
No, because
and
he said
took to it right away.
he said T-Man was
Because
supposed to be
of
for
the-
her T cell
Yeah.
count is
Right.
low, and she's like,
That's
oh my
what I was
god,
thinking.
she has AIDS. Yes, and I was like, no.
You boxed yourself in.
That was horrible.
I was like, why of all?
She says, "No, I really have to
anything?"
do it. I have
Well,
to do it."
Yeah, because I mean, it was just like it's so awkward. And then she did 3 takes. No. Yeah, she did 3 takes in the dressing room, even though it didn't matter because Todd had somebody in the background every single time, or him in the mirror, and I was like, "Oh my god, you're the worst!" Like the filmmaker in me was just like, "Move the camera! Why are you there?"
And then to escort her to a completely different
that
room.
freaked me out when she's like, hey Deb. Messing. Could you come with me? And I was like, no, don't go into the light. And took her into another room.
Which the lighting looked worse to me. It was so dark in there.
was
I'm like, this was
terrible.
not an upgrade at all.
Blue wall.
Did you like
Blue
the necklace
wall,
though
red
that she
hair.
had on?
Yeah,
Was
that's
that?
nice.
Does she have her
Can we
own
talk-
line? Does
we
she have her
skipped-
own line of jewelry?
We skipped that.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you
that
for
was
bringing that
funny.
up. Was when they Stacey came in just to ask her what you want to talk about, which is normal for anything.
I love those
And
topics. I
the
know.
P-
And she's like, yeah, I'll do it.
And the PR's like, no. You
doesn't
can save
want
that
her
for
to drop
people.
any
She
good
came out
stuff
of
on this
nowhere,
crowd
right?
show.
At the worst time.
Oh, God. I love how she's just like, no. You save that for People Magazine, not for Nightcap.
They
and for
do that.
Amy."
But
And
they
I was
do
like,
that, don't
oh,
they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like a pecking order on all these, shows and magazines, and I think you get paid for some.
You
so,
do? Yeah.
I could see how that could happen. But it was so nice to see her agree to everything. Yeah, I'll talk about my boyfriend, which they usually don't want to do.
No, yeah.
Does she have a real jewelry line?
I don't know, but
that
she
necklace
usually.
was gorgeous.
If you
It was
check out her
so
Instagram and her
nice.
Snapchat, she's usually wearing something.
Yeah.
I just don't know if she started anything, but I know she's always talking
Deborah,
about
we're
it.
ready to buy your products.
I'm always ready to buy
Put it
Deborah
on-
Messing products.
Put it on your Twitter and Facebook and everything else.
But yeah, so pretty much.
The lighting was worse, and
lighting
she
was
still
terrible.
she still came in. At this point, Stacy comes in and says, "What is going on?"
Because she had no
She
idea
knew-
what was happening because she was
Right.
dealing with Tim Gunn.
But she immediately
So-
figured it out, and that was the end of that.
But I love how like she shut it down,
Yeah.
but I also really like that Deborah Messing, even though it was just part of her character, that she was like, no, I'm gonna do it.
I'm
This
gonna
last
do it.
take, even though she was very upset
Darn
by
it.
the end of it, she did it though, and
Yeah.
we get the very end of the episode. We find out because Todd is like, I'm gonna upload it. I'm gonna put it up on Instagram, and everyone's gonna see it. And I love how Stacey like knocked his popcorn out of his hands. I thought that was really funny. And then she ended up getting a hold of his phone and deleting all the videos.
Yeah.
Perfect.
How do we feel about that? Do we think it was a good choice? Do we
I
think it's
always worry when I do a video on Instagram because I do little promos here, and
course.
I found out if you don't upload it right away, you can lose it. Now, maybe I'm not too
if you're
techy.
if you're recording it through Instagram, the app, but
Yes.
if you're just recording it with like
Your phone?
your
Yeah.
camera in your
No,
phone, then
no.
you'll
get
have
it.
that anytime.
Well, how do you convert it from your phone to your Instagram? Because I always take.
You've never done that before?
You can just add it
No.
in. It's
Yeah.
just like
Sorry,
having a
guys.
No, it's okay.
Grandpa.
Yeah.
Wow! Oh, hit below the belt. Plastic- I'm going to see my plastic surgeon tomorrow.
No, you're beautiful. Stop it. It was a joke. It was a poke.
Need
It
some
was a jab.
Botox and Juvederm.
No, don't do that.
So for people who don't know how to put video onto Instagram, you just hit that plus button like you would when you're going into your gallery, and whatever video you have on there, you just click on it. And then you can
trim it and stuff.
I lose stuff, like I film it and then I go back to upload it later and it's gone.
No, but you have to use your actual, like,
Okay, yeah,
use
your phone.
the
Okay,
camera.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Don't use the
Thank you,
video
sweetie.
on Instagram. Anyway, we're gonna skip past that.
So I like that. So Todd is so dumb in every area, but
He's like-
but he does know enough to have a password on his phone. It's Jimmy's birthday, so it's an easy to know password. But why bother having a password at all? Like, I thought that was an interesting
He
detail of
is
him.
basically playing dumb through the whole thing. What was that blonde on WKRP? Did she kind of play that role? What I feel like is Todd is playing a sexualized male version of the dumb.
Wow.
And
I
you guys
didn't
should
even
love
think about
it.
that.
Why don't
You guys should love it.
take it all in
He
because
doesn't
it's always
quite
the
do it for me.
Okay.
I'm not attracted to Todd.
I don't get that
If he's not intellectual, I can't. I
Oh,
can't.
really?
It might be that.
But
I can't
his
do it.
body is not so bad.
I'm also not a fan of chest hair.
Well, he's gonna. He's like naked in every other episode. He's shirtless.
I've noticed that because he's shirtless in the next. Actually,
in the
next
coming
one he's
episode,
coming
which
in.
looks
Let's
dope.
cut into predictions for this one. I just want to just jump into it because we need to talk about because we got a preview of
Your
Unwanted Guest.
Me too. It's so weird.
We had
Star Trek-y.
Jason Bigg. That's his
Jason
name.
Biggs.
Yes.
Lord, he is here and he's
Looking
like, I'm
like
gonna
he is
wreck.
being a
I love how he's
huge
like,
diva.
I'm gonna wreck Nightcap.
Can't wait to see
I'm so excited. So pretty much, he looks like he has like a gym. It looks like he's having a guy's day
Yeah.
at Nightcap, and it's scary. Like there's even
Awesome.
there's tagging on the wall. I was like,
Food being thrown by the
sounds great.
caterer, chef.
oh, it's gonna be great.
And of course, Todd is
Pandemonium.
shirtless again.
Yeah.
For the viewers that do find him
twice now.
attractive.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's unattractive. It's
No,
just
I'm not saying
just
he's
not
not
for
my
me.
cup of tea. No.
Well, no.
He's no Mark Cuban.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take
Intelligence
Todd, you
is
put Mark
important.
Cuban. I don't know. No, like.
But instead of having a girl playing the dumb role that's very sexual,
Yeah,
he's
for
the male
sure.
equivalent. So the girls may
Yeah.
like that little change up. So we're not being
I
sexual.
love how they also called Penny dumb in this one too. Well, I mean, not us, but Marcus
called
and
her dumb?
Marcus and Randy were like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Penny." They call her Pet Penny, and I was like, "That's mean," but I like her though. But yeah, so it looks like Jason Bigg is pretty much there to wreak havoc in the Nightcap Studios. I don't know exactly what shenanigans they're going to do, but it looks
Fun.
awesome.
Really
so
funny.
Definitely.
I feel like the episodes are starting to get more comfortable and the awkwardness and the humor. They're kind of hitting those points now, and it's getting good. You
Yeah,
know, I'm
this
not
is
saying
my
that it was
favorite
bad.
one.
It's just that this episode was just hit all the
Hit
really
everywhere.
funny.
Yep.
It was just awesome. Mostly Marcus Cuban's hit points for Hayley. She was like, yeah.
Hit me, baby, one
One more time. Mark Cuban, right here.
Okay.
Just kidding. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Actually, no, wait. I don't want to end the show yet. Do you, what was your overall, did you, absolutely love it? Is there anything that you guys wanted more of or anything of the show before I cut into the ending of our show?
My favorite part was Deborah Messing on the show and her saying, I am exhausted after filming it over and over. I busted out laughing.
Yeah.
For that, that's the best. I mean, if we can't see Todd shirtless, that works for me. That worked for me. So.
Awesome. And you're going to get your wish. You got two
Yes.
of them already.
Another one. Well, last week he was on the cross, almost completely
I
naked.
completely forgot about that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
blocked that
That's
out of my
right.
head. I was like,
So, yeah.
Jesus.
That's right. Well,
Jesus juice.
I believe we've well covered that. My favorite part was Mark Cuban. Also, Deborah Messing was really funny, but Mark Cuban.
No, he was
Loved him.
shining.
So funny and talented.
Do you
Yes.
think Mark Cuban should be on more sitcom shows like these?
Oh yeah, give him work.
I mean, he doesn't really need it because he's a
No,
frickin'
he
billionaire, but yes, I also agree with that. Also, you should hit up Hayley at Hayley O'Connor on Twitter.
And what are your predictions, my dear?
My predictions is that Jason Bigg is going to be awesome. I actually really liked him, Gunn, even though he was only in it for a split second,
it's
because
funny.
it was just so over the top. He was just like, okay, I'm going to make it work. I'm going to make it work
make
out
it work
here
there.
in the hallway.
Who first did that? I'm gonna go hard.
That was no. I
I'm
think
trying
that
to,
was just.
I know
I think
that.
it was just Jason Bigg, unless there's
That
like
was
a,
his. He
He
started
might have
that.
done that in. He might have done it in a role, but I
Yeah.
have no idea
I
where
feel
it came
like
from.
I can't put my finger on it. Who did it the first time?
I have no idea.
It works for me though.
I no. 'cause
That was the best part of the
usually,
trailer.
we see
Next
him
week.
in roles where it's he kind of just plays this kind of sheltered
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
guy, but
he's,
now
like,
he's
nebbish and- yeah.
oh yeah, now he's like. Psh, This is gonna be
Bustin'
epic.
out.
Oh my god,
Awesome.
it's gonna be great. But thank you guys so much for joining us on this awesome Nightcap episode. We think that you guys are amazing, and I know that you're getting close to the holidays, so I think we only have like a couple more episodes at least for now. But we might actually just push through. I have no idea. So definitely keep up with these guys. Where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at AKA Golden Boy. Pop the champagne coming up New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Another pop plug there for you, and my website chrisvalentine.la. Check it out.
And I, once again, I'm Hayley O'Connor. That is Hayley O'Connor on Twitter and Hayleywood on Instagram. And that's Hayley, Hayley.
Yeah, you would be not too wise, Mark Cuban, if you don't hit her up. And I'm Alexis Torres. You can find me. We're all Alexis Torres as a result at atorres890. That's ATORRES 890. Guys, have a wonderful night, and we'll see you guys next week for Jason Biggs' big episode. Bye.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Make it work.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.